Yo! How many people are going to ask if I got the head off Perky yet, do you think? Impressive. It's kind of hot here, but it's not Vegas hot. This is Dead Dodge Garage Live, and I learned a song. Yeah, Jeff, this Sawzall could be coming. I don't know. Well, Robert, they'll think that I worked on it like today, and the head will be off, and they'll want an update. Anyway, Terry Reid died, and I'm a fan. So I learned a Terry Reid song, but I don't have super lungs, and how's it going, everybody? Welcome. I don't have super lungs, and it's hard to play. McLovin says everything sounds fine. I think it does. I think you're right. Something weird happened last week. Everything was like super blown out and loud and horrible. I don't know why. But hang on a second. Hold on. Hang on. Wait a second. Yeah, we're good. StreamYard does this weird thing where sometimes loud is loud and then sometimes loud is quiet. And anyway. Yeah, Terry Reid. Sorry. Brave dreams that are kindled from ashes rise out o'er the battle below. Spread wings over all that he passes, so his life can stay immortal to his country. All the shades of green that fall beneath this tree, so let the winds of change that rearrange this country, let it also sow a seed of memory. Marlene in the cool side in sashes, spread dreams o'er the battle below. Bring love with a song as she passes, so his life can stay immortal to the country. Let every man aware of being free. When she talks of times when wine is handed to me from a face that walked out of memory. Now that the battle's done and you wake up in the morning with the sun up in the sky, summer gives you no warning, but then flowers are getting thrown up to cover the mud upon the line. Valley's getting greener and there's nothing but love on your mind. Brave dreams that are kindled from ashes rise out o'er the battle below. Spread wings over life can stay immortal to the country. Are the shades of green that fall beneath the street, but the winds that change, they free range this country. Let it also sow a seed of a memory. Let it always sow a seed of memory. Let it always sow a seed of memory. Let it sow. Going home, let it sow. Could you tell which notes were out of my range? I bet you could. McLovin's got AC. Not fair. Not fair at all. Anyway. Excuse me. Hang on. I gotta hit a button. That button. There we go. Problem solved. Little Terry Reid for you. If I was standing up and I could belt a little bit better, I might have those notes, but that man was legendary for his pipes. Not easy to match. Thanks, everybody. Dang, that title could cost me a nickel. What is going on here? Why are you the way you are? That should not... Oh my god. Hold on, I gotta set everything on fire. Jeff R says he's not sure he's seen my face that shade of purple. Nice. Todd, at least you have a range. Yeah, I got something. David Chorus, now a drum solo. All right. This will definitely blow the mic out. Yes, I'm wearing shorts. Yeah, that's good. I only put on shorts when it hits 80 degrees. People have more perky suggestions than belly buttons. Excuse me, spent half an hour today after yes, I own 2 pairs of shorts, actually. Pockets ripped out of one of them. Speaker test. Spent half an hour today. The neon video was exported, and I didn't hit upload for a while because I was too busy responding to comments on the Perky video and telling people that they're not helpful. Sounded good. Mike didn't clip. Nice. Mike, the slacker in the house. How's it going? What's good in the hood? Mark M's also here. Patrick Sullivan is here. Lettuce 2 is here. It's 2 a.m. there. Just wanted to say hello. Well, hello. Nice. Speed! Rick Rice in the house. Rory Desjardins. Stephen Andrews, how did you do that sitting down? Painfully. I'll try that, Jeff. Andrea Mills says, dynamite? Someone else offered that too. This guy has a running, driving, roadworthy Dodge Challenger for $5,000. I already got an email from somebody that was like, hey, were you serious? Yes. Stephen Rosenthal says, when you remove the head from Perky, you will be the rightful king of England. James Robinson in the house. How's it going? American Rooster. No, I do not know any Avenged Sevenfold as a fact. Beaker 138. Hi there. Does igniter coil keep firing after start while driving? I hope so. Your engine ain't gonna run without a coil sparking. I seriously went. I said to Connor, now that we have the head rocked up, should I just put a Sawzall blade in there and like be done with it? But it's gonna ruin everything. Yeah, Bullwag. See, we were going for the metal fatigue on those studs, but you know it's gonna take a while. Yes, Cleveland Maker. I would love to have a Stereon, or however they pronounce that. Tubatorium. Compose a dirty Perky song. Wait, hold on. I hear a halftime funk with your lyric funk. Driver of Misfits. Yes, that Neon is in awfully nice shape for 340,000 miles. Yes, it was well cared for. The previous original owner is 6 comments below you in the live stream. Steven. Thanks again, Steven. Pretty solid unit. It needs some work. It's got some interesting noises and stuff going on, but hey, it runs pretty good. Rory does Jordan. Imagine the Mitsubishi Challenger with no trim. Yeah, I even thought about pulling the back window grilly thingies. That's how the Mitsubishi Galant Lambda was in Japan. Tubatorium, no, that was Seed of Memory by Terry Reid. I got AC. Oh, Mark is sitting by the AC. Nice. I got an air conditioning unit, a crappy old one, to put in here. It has to go here. It's the only place it can go. And so I'm a little concerned it might make awful noise during the live stream. It probably would, like straight in the microphone. It's not great. And like, I'm going to say 96% of the time it's unnecessary, but I don't know. I'll probably install it at some point. Even in the house, hola, señor. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué es bueno? ¿Qué es nuevo? Yeah, skip the opening songs for a long time. Yes, Phil Buckley. Terry Reid was indeed a famous singer. Famously, not Robert Plant, the other one, Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page asked Terry Reid to sing for the band that would eventually become Led Zeppelin, and he declined. Thank you, Kenneth. Bullwag. When fix Ford? Do I have a Ford? Joseph Lawton in the house. Lovejoy is here. What's up? Granddad's Junk also here. Six is here. Bill Russell is here. David Bisnet is here. My sister's here. Marty from St. Augustine is here. Liked the Neon video. Nice. My sister says there's a nice cool breeze, but it's not in here. Oh, when fix Ford tractor. Actually, I ordered a steering cylinder from... Yeah, but I don't want to pay for a mini split. I ordered a second steering cylinder. I had to replace one, like right when I bought it, and now the other one has exploded. So that is preventing me from using it at all, basically. The knuckle cylinder is bad too, so I'm probably going to pull that. 74 Nova Reclaimed is also here, and so is Bill James. Grease Belly Garage is finally here after several weeks as well. Bobby Whitlock died today. I don't know who that is. Andrew Button thinks Perky was run a quarter mile at a time. Yeah, across the city. Anyway, steering cylinder is in the mail. Should have it by Wednesday. Then we can have steering again. That would be really nice. And then the knuckle cylinder, I'm probably going to pull and take the hydraulics shop so they can charge me hundreds of dollars to rebuild it or build a new one or whatever. Not looking forward to that. I was looking at options online, but I'm just going to take it to the local shop, see what they say. Robert, I'm not running a gate. Oh yeah, yeah. But then it'll be horrible, like it'll be silent and then it'll be white noise every time I talk. 74 Nova Reclaim says Mitsubishi Galant's rear ends suck. Yeah, aren't they IRS? The Challenger is a solid axle. Mikey314. Hey DDG, thanks for the Perky update. Haha. Yeah. Have you ever done an LA with a 518 overdrive automatic build? No, not yet. I haven't. It's easy to do. Bolts onto an LA just like onto a Magnum. Still think this is very funny. If I get a phone call during this live. Did I say hi to James Robinson? I think I did. Old Stuff Rules from Tennessee, also here. Answer 14 is here. Answer 14, perked up when that video dropped, pun intended. How about just finding another Perkins? I have one in the shop, but it's not looking too good. Wow, someone who doesn't just scream into the mic and jump up and down to the reverb, on the reverb. I have before done all of those things. Gopher Garage is in the house. Yeah, we'll get it. It might take a minute, as the kids are saying, but yeah, we'll get it. Dude, this is really annoying. They changed. Oh my God. They changed the interface in StreamYard and it messed things up. Because things just can't be left well enough alone. Al Sears here and says, Neons are cool, but I still want a GLHs. If I could get my hands on one, I would be excited. No, central air is not a thing. It is a rare day you see central air in a house because we don't need it. Except for like 2 weeks out of the year. And even then need is the wrong word. You know, it's, oh God. 3 summers ago, we had a 106-degree day once. Usually it's not that hot. Our idea of hot is anything over about 80 degrees. Frank Colburn is here from, is it Hilo, Hawaii? Or Hilo? I'm going to learn. Hilo. Rad. Hilo, Hawaii. Excuse me. Gopher Garage. Kept waiting for Perky to fall off that head. It'll come. It will eventually. I don't know when, but someday, by George. Dang it, I saw a question. Yeah. Needell? I'm looking at buying a 75 W100 for $4,000. Has a 318 out of a 70s Coronet with some mild internals. It's an automatic. Should I be looking at other years? What are the main things to look for? Rust. Tin grills are basically all the same, 73 to 80. Grills changed. The hood changed in 79. They got rid of the bird bath. 75 is a good one. That's my favorite grill. It's got the bird bath hood. Being a W100, it could be a single cab short, a single cab long, or a club cab long. But I feel like the majority of W100s are single cab shorts. Those are my favorites. They're great trucks, super maneuverable. 75 may not have disc brakes yet. 74, I don't think they did. Mine was this, right? Isn't David's a club a 74 and it's got drums? Yeah, so I'm not sure. It would be nice to have disc brakes on there if it does. Well, my 75 did. That truck was also made out of 4 trucks, though. But anyway, yeah, 318 is a 318. Doesn't bug me at all. Mild internals is cool. Rust is the biggest thing on tin grills. So first off, the floor. Generally around here, the piece of sheet metal under the driver's right heel is never there. And if it is there, it's because it's already been patched once. Like the 79 Jordan's truck. Yeah, it's been patched once. The black truck had a chunk of floor there too, because it had already been patched. Very, very common to see rust there. Rust in the rockers isn't common like it is on the swept line. I mean, it happens in the salty places. You guys don't even have these trucks anymore, so obviously I'm not talking to you. But yeah, floors, doors, bedsides, radiator support. And it always seems to be the driver's side right around the body mount on the Radiator Support. In fact, Tom did a video on his new Warlock, a deal I passed along to him and did not get credit for in the video. Tom, like I care that much. Gross. Anyway, oh no, his didn't have, sorry, that's a super solid truck. It doesn't have the rust in the rad support. It has the bed falling off. My bad. But anyway, he showed the back of the bed being able to lift it off the frame. Well, the nose of these trucks is often like that on the driver's side. So if you suspect this truck of being rusty at all, walk to the driver's side, grab the bottom of the fender and kind of the grill, and see if you can lift the whole thing off the frame. If you can, rusty rad support. Which again, super common. The black 78 had it. My blue 75 had it. It's just like normal. But yeah, other than rust, they're damn good trucks. They really are. Electrical issues, amp gauges, ammeters, are often bad in tin grills. The other gauges will be dead. That's just normal classic Chrysler stuff. Yeah, there's not much to worry about, really. The 727s are pretty tough. They do blow up occasionally. Is your name not Bruce? Classic Dude Mike is here. Richard Scott is here. Andrew Button says I ought to port Perky's head. I thought about it. I said hi to Bell James, right? I think I did. Did I say hi to Tiffany? Something about the rearview mirror falling off. Nice. Grease Belly Garage installed a used 4-ton split system in my garage. That's awesome. Do you want to install one in my garage? Dude, that heater control valve solvent is serious stuff. I should steal some of that from Tom. Oh, Jeff Militich says Bobby Whitlock was keys for Derek and the Dominoes and many more. Gotcha. Yeah, I just don't know the name. No Beret is in the house. Ready to be professionally entertained. Old Green, New Green says, hi, Jamie. When's the next Hudson video? I don't know. I'm going to be rewiring that, but no idea. No idea. Dart Sport was the priority. The next priority is Vivian's Dart, and I'm running out of time to have any hope of doing Barracuda stuff this year, but I'm still kind of sort of clinging to hope. Yeah. Andrew Button, do you think when Perky was new it ran strong? No. Andrew Button being silly. Jay Slowy is in the house. Can't be doing much now because I've been sick for the last 4 days. Lame. Snowmonk VX in the house. How's it going? DDG scored a set of OG aluminum slots from a Mopar guy that was his day 2 mod on a 70 Cornet RT convertible. Lugs caps the lot. Going on my 67 Charger soon. That's awesome. Slots are the best wheels. I loved having the slots on mine. Good evening, Martin Adams. How's it going? I don't know if everybody else pays close attention to the comments as I do, but Martin Adams, on every video that has a train horn, comments train horn, and it's really fun. McLovin put up a link to my merch store a little bit ago. Thank you, McLovin. Dude, I was going to spend some of my free time today working on new merch, but I forgot. Instead, I learned Terry Reid. Joseph Lawton, how about doing a come and swap on a Dodge van? In an early video on the channel, I was going to put a 4BT and an overdrive automatic in a 1978 Dodge camper van, or was it a 77? It literally doesn't matter. It does. Those are slightly different fans. I think it was a 77. Anyway, you could see a video I did on it. Pulled the 360. Pulled the 360 out, started measuring for the 4BT, collecting pieces, and then it never happened. And when I bought the 68 Charger, I sold all the parts. Yes, if you have a basement here, you do not need air conditioning. That's very true. Does Perky have disc brakes? I think you know the answer to that. Yeah, Rory, 74, baby bolt pattern. Yes, and the W100 actually still had that through at least like into the 80s, I think. W100, W150. Yeah. Dan Rose says, Jamie, be careful with the 5-speed on the Neon. Diff has a bad pin in it. Just thought to let you know. Bad meaning weak? Todd Denio, Jamie, when you work on the Hudson Twin H, you're going to port it and maybe get a custom ground cam and build a set of headers. Not for the one that's not mine, I'm not. Yeah, Rich, I did have a comment about the computer duster freezing. Yeah. Yes. I don't have any of that stuff anymore, but I'm sure they're still making it. Oh, Joseph Lawton. Anyway, the Cummins really doesn't fit very well in the Dodge vans. I was going to do a 4BT, and even that we were going to have some issues with pan fitment. They're tall. They're not Detroit tall, but they're pretty tall. Yeah, McLovin. Most of us who live inland in Washington and Oregon end up on the coast during the hot days. Yeah, we didn't do that today. We had all the girls over here. They're currently asleep. I need to kick them awake. Although if the drum solo didn't wake them up, probably nothing will. Today's Connor Lake Havasu's cold tap water clocks in at 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Nope, I'm good. Yeah, it doesn't get exactly what David said, yeah. Gopher Garage says, been 4 months of 100 plus here. I would just die. I would just die. I could not do any of what I do. Dan Rose, Jamie, did I see a first generation Dakota in your driveway? Yes, you did. That truck's kind of a boomerang. I bought that from a junkyard for $800, rescued it, put an engine in it, traded it for a 67 Buick Electra 225. Got it back. Traded it, sold it again, never was fully paid for it. That guy gave it, traded it to his neighbor, something like that. We bought it back from him super cheap. I let Jordan have it. Then Jordan sold it to Connor. Connor still has it. Daly drove it for years, and then it kind of died, the big death. And the plan is to carb swap that thing. People ask about carb swapping TBIs all the time, and because it's early enough, it's the same technology. So anyway, that's the plan for that. It's not mine. Bill Mize just dropped in and sent me $100. Dang, Bill, thanks. Good evening, Jamie. I think it's almost time to build the floor, Perkins. Here's a little towards it. Yeah. Yes, I think it is. You know, and that was always my plan, was to rebuild that one and then put it in the car. I just wanted to do the head gasket to keep the thing happy for a while I built the spare engine, and you can see how that's gone. So, yeah. Thank you, Bill. Much appreciated. So many comments. I'm usually more on it than I am tonight. Chris asked tonight's libation. It's the Incline Marionberry. It's the last can in the house, but I allegedly still have some out in the shop fridge. Couple left. Yeah, David's 74 W100, that Club Long that I owned for a bit, is four-wheel drum. 75 is the first with front disc on four-wheel drive. Okay, yep. That sounds right. Grease Belly Garage says tin grills in Florida rot above the windshield. Yeah. Yeah, that is another common spot too. I guess I should think to say that. I don't know. Yeah, I bought a parts truck that did not have the window channel anymore, so yeah. Jeff says, I want to put a carbureted V8 or maybe V6 in my '09 Wrangler. Any suggestions? I wouldn't. Just not worth it. Andrew Button, why do they wait so long to put disc brakes in the tin grills? Because the drums are that good. Mine Aver says, we're left with a big cliffhanger. Maybe Perky won't release its head. We may never know if it'll run again. Well, you'll know. If it never runs again. Nice. Bullwag says, drove a J10 yesterday. Pretty clean, but I don't think those ride as nice as a tin grill. I don't think so either. Oh, wow. Auto Hobby Services liked my Neon until Mom called it cute. I own a Shelby CSX. Nice. Same engine as the GLHs. Is it really? Also, Turbo 3 Spirit RT. I was hooked in the 90s. I want to find one of those Spirits with the Lotus head. Yeah. Tracy Gunn says his truck is pretty solid for an 88. We're not going to talk about that. Granddad's Junk. Jamie, what's your plan for the PT Cruiser? It's a engine donor for my Rampage, the K-car-based pickup truck thing, car truck thing. El Camino, but not. Much worse. So I'm going to put the Turbo 2.4 in that. I need the proper 5-speed to match it. That's the plan. And then the PT Cruiser body is going to go on of all things, a W100 short bed frame. We're going to have to fudge the wheelbase a little bit. We're going to have to shorten the frame a little and do some customizing for sure. The PT's probably going to lose its whole factory firewall and a bunch of other stuff, But yeah, PT Cruiser gasser. It's going to be sick. The stuff dreams are made of. Dan Tupper is in the house. How's it going, Dan? Yeah, Mark Bass. You have to get it off before you can port it. Dalton Sparks made it finally for once. Thanks for being here. Oh, that's... Yeah. Alan says Tiffany broke the 300. Well, the mirror. Well, it needed a windshield anyway. Hard Rock Vermont says, good evening from Vermont. And All Classics Restoration is in the house. How's it going? What's good in the hood? Jeff Hutchins says Dodge started galvanizing Rams in around 81, 82. They don't seem to rust as quickly after that. That has been my observation as well. I didn't know that's what they did. I just know they seem to stick around better. The 80s ones never have the same rust in this area as the 70s ones. Now, that red 92 Cummins I took apart was from Oregon, probably coastal Oregon, and the roof channel was going away, but it had a perfect floor, perfect rockers, perfect cab corners, none of the normal tin grill rot. Classic Dude Mike had an 80 Dodge tin grill, window screen, self-tappers topped with fiberglass cloth, tons of resin, hide the debauchery with JC Whitney carpet kit. Ugh. A Bit Nuts says, what would happen if you rotated the engine in Perky? Absolutely nothing, because the fuel injectors are out. And even if they weren't, even if I put them back in, remember, the head is loose on the passenger side. It's rocking up and down 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch almost. Nothing will happen. Compression will not help. I understand why people suggested that after the last video. I don't understand why they would suggest it after today's video, because I went into all of this. Somebody said LS swap? Who were we sending to the corn? Mark Bass? I believe it was joke. Gopher Garage. I'm sure that's how that's pronounced. Jamie, how can I swap the ball and trunnion drive shaft out of my 65 Fury? You must have a 4-speed if it's still got a ball and trunnion, because an automatic 65 should have a slip yoke. You need a later transmission and a drive shaft. Connor Lee Havasu says, when you degrease Perky, it will be a lot faster. Yeah, but it'll be greasy again with a quickness. Andrew Button had 2 PT Cruisers at the same time. 5-speed was definitely a better car. I wish this one had a 5-speed. Yeah, Mark says, good luck getting the head off the spare engine. Exactly. That's what I said. I am not looking forward to going through all the same nightmare BS. Keith Hill loved my 5-speed PT. Test drove the automatic. Not so good. Oh, wow. Jay Slowy's got most of the floor in his 73 W200 Power Wagon. Nice. Bill's a stud. He is. Grease Belly Garage says, I feel like we were microwaved in Florida this year, or we've been microwaved, and my chubbiness doesn't help much. Why don't we see PT Cruisers much? What was their downfall? Well, first off, they were a fad. And the fad is very much over. So, yeah, they're out of style, out of favor. They're really annoying to work on, and resale values went straight into the toilet. When the timing belt breaks on your PT Cruiser, it should be scrap metal. For some reason, I fixed the one I got, and I hated every moment of it. When I was a professional mechanic, that was an easy $800 timing job because it sucked that bad. And I can only imagine what people are charging to do it now, if they would do it at all. Which is not to say there aren't worse timing jobs. There are, but the PT really sucks. I did a video on it, and I swore so much. Yeah, answer 14. 84 Dodge trucks were last to have 4.5 bolt circle. 85 went big. But some had it earlier. David's 74 is the big bolt pattern. It's a 205 with a manual locking hub. I believe the W100s with manual locking hubs got the big bolt pattern. Excuse me. While the full-time trucks kept the small bolt pattern until the 80s. Did I say the full? I think I said small bolt trucks. The full-time four-wheel drive trucks, if that's not what I said. That is what I have found to be true. Weak pin in the diff if you do hard launches in the neon. Good to know. Only Dodge Garage is in the house and says, thank you for your videos. I've learned a lot. Happy to help, my friend. Wow, Guy Kugler is here and says, I was in the toy section of Walmart and saw new rapid transit system cars. No, I haven't been in there in a bit. I always check the Hot Wheels section every time. Just ask my wife. Fox Can Fix It Garage is in the house. How's it going? Road Song. If Perky still has a stock flathead, it doesn't. It has a Perkins diesel, which was installed when it was new with a kit. Then it still has the stock braking, single master drums. Yes, but total contact. They're really good, actually. Yeah, there's obviously the possibility of a hydraulic failure. Dual master would be a great upgrade. There's no question of that. But those brakes work pretty well. Aqua Chef is in the house. I love Perky. Thing's so damn good looking for a Mordor car. I know. I forgot. After messing with it the other day and just kind of sitting around and staring at it again, I remembered how beautiful it is. Robert Fitch. Yeah, there's a few of us train geeks out here. I just don't admit to being one until now. 7 years ago, I downloaded Google Earth to my old Mac laptop, which has since left. And actually, it might be in the attic. No, I think I gave it to someone. Anyway, I downloaded Google Earth, and I mapped out. There's a tool on there where you can map out lines, mark things. I don't know. I mapped out the routes of all of the defunct, gone railroad grades in Grays Harbor County. But I'm not like a train geek or anything. Yeah. So, David Corliss says, several cans of expanding foam might loosen that head. Wow. Scooter in Vegas says, just took slots off a 68 Charger for a set of 500s. How dare you, sir? How dare you? Slots weren't the look for mine. I test fit my slots and no, it needed the shiny. So I put Krager's on it. Everybody said to do 500s. No, it's not my wheel, but to each their own. Jeff Militich says it was a treat to see the 55 on the trailer. Yeah, it's finally home. Drove on the trailer too. After sitting in Tom's yard for like 6 months, molding. It's really bad. Anyway, oh boy. Bullwag says, I love trying to split my Kubota in my barn where it's over 100 degrees every day. That doesn't sound fun. Todd Denio is not welcome in Canuckistan. Stand? Can't talk. Never could. JRod. That's not... What does he say all the time? Damn it. Whatever. Anyway, JRod's late as usual. Sorry I had people over for dinner. All is forgiven. Cypher F in the house. Pito got a PT Cruiser for $400. The fan fried and overheated, warped the head. Ouch. All Classics. Has anyone ever deleted the rain gutter above the windshield in a tin grill? Sure. Mother Nature. So the one I had, the parts truck I bought, that it had done that on. It had rusted out. Someone had like scabbed, I don't even know what, steel, maybe fiberglass, probably. Know what I'm saying? Thank you. Yeah, apparently my brother's in the crowd. God. Anyway, that truck had like a panel. It covered it from the windshield up to the roof, and it just looked wrong. But they also didn't delete it around the side, so I don't know. I would very much like to have a rain gutter. McLovin's drinking Square Mile cider tonight, made in Portland, Oregon. Yeah, absolutely. I've had some Square Mile as well. Snowmonk VX, real question. Will you be able to get the head off Perky's spare engine? It's not going to be any easier, I can tell you that. You know, we got a little whiff of Canadian smoke a week ago, but just a little. And for like one day. Hasn't been bad this year. I apologize again for being way back in the comments. Got a lot. Jamie owns a PSH instead of a GLH. Perky stuck head. That was Andrew Button. PT Monster Truck's been done. Is Tom keeping the Warlock? He's going to keep it for a while. Tom doesn't usually keep things for life, so I wouldn't expect him to keep it forever and ever and ever, but he did want that truck, and he is going to make some much needed improvements and enjoy it for a while. So... Jeff R., you once stated if you were to be bribed, a white chocolate iced latte would do it. Had any this summer? Dude, I have them like every day. I make one in the morning here myself, and then I visit the coffee stand for a second one. Although I've switched to iced Americanos. Half sweet, but still white chocolate. Yes, Bullwag, all the PTs are in scrap now. That's pretty much true. No Beret says, Perkins, start pulling the engine out and the head will come off at the most inopportune time. Yeah, it'll smash the grill. Law of the universe. Absolutely. Yes, Hobart, know about rope. Talked about rope in today's video. I want no one else ever to make a suggestion about Perky's head. Are we clear? No more suggestions. I've heard enough. Thank you. It's ridiculous. Martin Adams has a Daytona with a Lotus head. Do we need to talk? Yeah, we do. I hope it's cheap. Andrew Button, same thing with air applies to compression. Don't give me any more suggestions. Mark Bass is new. Yeah, we have this thing about LSs in Mopar world. Jeff Militich, remove the rusted roof equals Roadster. Remember Connor's Ram Charger that we went to Tacoma to buy and hauled back on the Ram truck, which was a really bad idea. And then we got it running and happy in 2 days, and he drove it home. It's his daily driver, and he brought it out on Friday. Top off. Friggin' elitist. And yeah, we actually cruised to dinner in it. It was sick. Cruising the town in the Ram Charger. Don't forget the curb feelers on the PT Gasser. Good plan, Robert. Yeah. Mark Howley. It's ironic. When you want a motor apart, it won't come apart. When you want it together, it's apart in pieces that were not engineered to come apart. It's sick. Dan Rose says, Turbo Stage 322 was hard on the timing belts with the Lotus heads. The Maserati DOHC heads were the best. I'm not familiar with that. I'm not familiar with that at all. Did they use that in the TC? No, that's a single cam. I'm not familiar with what you are talking about. Oh. Chrysler TC, developed with Maserati, used a special turbocharged 2.2 engine. This version was related to the Turbo 2, but used a special 16-valve head. I guess I've read that before. I was just looking at the wrong picture. Do they have an engine picture? No. Why would they? Chrysler TC by Maserati engine. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I don't think I knew that. I thought they were just the normal 2.2. That's kind of sick, actually. There was a TC local here. I haven't seen it in a long time, but well, actually, no. Now that I think about that, I probably know exactly where it is. That's cool. Yeah, I need that head and the valve cover. That's really cool. Anyway. The Fly. Going buzz, buzz, buzz. Going buzz, buzz, buzz. Bullwag says, my 84 is nearly starting to miss bedsides. Yeah. Yes, galvanized doesn't hold paint well. They must not have galvanized the whole thing, because when the 80s and 90s trucks lose their paint on the roof, when, not if, when, it surface rusts. Yes, Tracy's truck will be solid eventually. We are finally doing a Magnum swap, by the way, an EFI Magnum swap, a project I've wanted to do for the channel literally since it started. We're doing that for Tracy, the owner of the Toolbox Charger. We're also going to see that car again coming up soon, although it sounds like we're probably going to wait till the end of summer. Because the likelihood of me finishing it in time for him to go to the next car show is, let's just say, low. Propane. Hot Drop Terry, what ignition components do I need on my Slant 6 for boost? I don't know. Don't use an MSD box. The internet hates MSD boxes. It's your MSD box. So many thousands of people said that my problem was the MSD box, despite the fact that I removed it and installed an HEI system and explained that in a video. Anyway, I'd get an MSD. Yeah. Yes, respirator stereolex. Yes, talked about the HHR in my PT Cruiser video. PT Cruiser and HHR, same throwback design fad. Absolutely. Don't forget the SSR pickup. Auto Hobby Services says, as the next automotive machinist, I've never seen a head removal problem as bad as Perky. It hurt to watch. So bad. Feel for you. It makes no sense. It just makes no sense. Only Dodge Garage says, I work at a Copart, and every time a PT Cruiser comes in here, they never run and drive. Yeah. Yeah, Mark Bass, the Prowler, I was actually surprised to learn, predated. It came a lot earlier than I thought it did. It was like 96 or something. But that general, like, bubbly-ish, I kind of talked about it in the Neon video today, that bubbly thing, it really kicked off around 94, I guess, at Chrysler. So, Rory's truck is the big pattern. Part-time 4 or full-time 4? Isn't yours is a single long, right? Well, wait, you said earlier 74 with the baby bolt pattern. I'm confused. It would be 5 on 4.5. That's the small one, and then 5 on 5.5 is the big one. Grease Belly Garage bought a clapped out PT Cruiser at IAAI, whatever that is, and it turned out to be an excellent car, but I still hated it. Yes, I bet you do. Yes, Jeff Hutchins, I agree. When PTs were new, they were cool. I remember. Then all of a sudden, they became a joke. Bullwag with a great question. What does total contact drums mean? So, 50s, excuse me. excuse me, there. Chrysler product. Excuse me again. And I don't remember what year they started this or what year they finished, but 59 still has it. Total contact brakes. They have dual wheel cylinders. One top going this way, one bottom going this way. So each wheel cylinder actuates one shoe. Because of that, typical, Bendix type brake system works like this, where they open at the top, right? So they both only kind of contact yay much. Well, if all is right in the Chrysler system, when those shoes actuate, I can't, there's too much hand stuff. Anyway, they contact more of the drum and they work really well. The problem comes in when the individual wheel cylinders fail and they're extremely, extremely expensive. Like they were $100 on eBay for one 10 years ago. I don't know what they are now. And then if the shoes are not shaped correctly, so they don't engage the whole drum, it's a problem. Anyway, when they work really well. When they have problems, it's a problem. Bill said, Bill is number one commenter, probably because of that super chat. Uncle Tony gave you a great comment the other day. He said you were the best channel. He said I was the best Mopar channel on YouTube. He has said that many times, actually. But yes, said you were the best, and I agree. Thank you, Bill. Much appreciated. Richard Scott, ever thought of putting a Dodge Nitro on an older four-wheel unit? No. I think the Dodge Nitro is the ugliest piece of garbage ever built by far. I hate them. Hate them. I dislike the Jeep Liberty. I hate the Dodge Nitro. JW Kegel has been a member for 7 months. Can't believe it. Thank you, my friend. And thanks for being here. And thanks to the rest of my members as well. We still have, it's not 300. I think it's like 270? Something like that. But thank you, everybody. Jeff Hutchins says, correct, anything with locking hubs or automatic hubs like they used in later years had the big 5-on-5.5 part pattern. To halt the argument coming, full-time four-wheel drives have neither locking hubs or auto hubs. Indeed, they could not. Yeah. Scooter in Vegas said, after looking at the slots for almost 20 years, it was time to move on. I could see that. Killerman Gaming, have you considered turbocharging Perky? Not only have I considered it, I've talked about it in multiple videos. And it just so happens, Bill Mize, our Gold Star Super Chatter, sent me a Perkins Turbo, a very small one. And it would probably be perfect. Wow. Todd Denio says, come on, people, hit that like button. I dare you. Got 245 people watching. Thanks for being here. That's awesome. Much appreciated. And yeah, if you don't mind hitting the like button, it does something. It does stuff for the thing with the deal. If you're in the live chat, you do on a mobile device or whatever, you do have to click out of the live chat to find the button. Dan Tepper says there is a way to remove the ball and trunnion front U-joint. Yeah, so Vivian's car, David Freeman's here and says, Uncle Tony said that before you posted the video about the neon. Nice. Yeah, Paul Wortman, I knew someone was going to have something to say about the too much hand stuff deal. My live chat just strolled away and I don't remember what I was talking about. Yes, the new Beetle was an important part of the retro car fad. Absolutely. I wasn't necessarily talking about those yet. I was talking about the bubbly thing, but yeah. The TC is not a LeBaron. Yeah, but it is, though. My Maserati does 185. I lost my license, now I can't drive. Chris Green Hills Garage is here to taunt me about V8 swapping the Neon RT. Dude, my live stream chat in here is getting all glitchy. I have 2 of them. I try to watch the now comments and the way back comments, but it doesn't always work. I'm not going to play Slow Ride, but I will play another song later. Gopher Garage. Did Ramp Truck come home? Yes, it did. Finally. It came home with a screaming, squeaking middle U-joint. It was always not good, but it's really not good now. That's what I was saying. Dan Tupper said something about deleting the ball and trunnion. Yes. So there is an output plate that has normal ears for a normal U-joint. I actually have one. And then you put a slip yoke in the drive shaft. And then there is also, Vivian has this in her Dart. I'll probably show it in the video as I'm taking that apart. There is actually a conversion out there. I don't know where they found this, but it's a flat yoke that bolts onto the factory push button flange and then gives a regular U-joint. It doesn't have the straps on there. The U-joint presses into it and then it bolts on. So I don't know if you can buy those, where you can buy those, but I do know they at least kind of exist. 74 Nova reclaimed. What's the value of a driver quality 6-cylinder automatic 65 two-door Dart? I don't know. Probably not a ton. Driver quality 65. A friend of mine traded his. What did he trade it for? Maybe he traded a Ford for it and then sold it. Maybe, I don't remember. But $3,000 to $5,000, maybe, if it's a nice, like, decent but not amazing car. But Slant 6 automatic is the least exciting one. Martin Adams, near Shelton, there is the tallest railroad trestle, I believe is the word missing from that comment, from a logging railroad you need to go see. Yes, I've never seen it. I need to go see it before it disintegrates. Someone lit it on fire some days ago. So that's nice. Did you try hammering it? Oh, I tried hammering it. Andrew Button says the Dodge Warlock is my dream vehicle. I'm going to reload my live stream chat, see if it gets gooder. You and Tony on an episode of Pinks. We did a race. I exploded an axle shaft in my Demon and lost. I drove all the way to Tennessee. I spent thousands of dollars to break my car on the starting line. It was hilarious. Jeff Militich, Ram truck screaming? Talk to Prudence. Yeah. Bowag says Liberties are one of the few Chrysler cars I've ever made. I have not a single bit of love for. I've got more than just that. But yeah, Liberties are up there for sure. They're only good for XJ disc brake swaps. Yeah. 74 Nova reclaimed is thinking 5K. Yeah, I don't think that's far off. Vance Creek Bridge. Yeah. Jeff R. What years were forward look cars manufactured? 1955 through 19. It depends. It depends. The last year for a full size forward look car was 1964. The Chryslers, they were still Exners. They were still the curved windshield. They still shared basically the cowl-ish. They were still essentially, and they still had sort of evolved forward look styling. I don't see those 63-4 cars as wild and ugly like some people do. I kind of think compared to earlier forward look stuff, they're sort of boring. But I believe the accepted official end of the forward look area is after 64, 65. Now, A-bodies were refreshed in 63, and that is still an Exner design. It's a modified Exner design, and it got less and less Exner as time went on. The funky parts, the 63-4, that hood line went away in 65 for a straighter one, and then an even straighter one in 66. Valiants, same thing. The funky 63 grill begat the more boring 64 design. But anyway, those were still around till 66, and so there was still forward look DNA, right? Until the A body was refreshed again for 67. But I think officially it's 55 to 64. Now, another thing I would say is the 55, they were advertised in places as the forward look. They were also advertised as the $100 million look. I think 55 and 6 are kind of their own thing, and 57 is when things got really forward looky. And they were really weird through about 62. But, yeah. Yeah. Jeff Militich says 61s were the last. 62 to 4, get an A for effort. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I think those later ones are, they still have the windshield. They still have features of the forward look, but they are less forward looky to me. Liberty Diesel is sort of kind of an exception. I was almost traded a CRD Diesel once for something, and I didn't do it, but Eric Dusenberry, what was the Dodge Granny Gear transmission called? NP435. Acid Spit Stormchild says your flathead troubles are assigned to finish the 273. It's not a flathead. It's a Perkins diesel overhead valve. But yes, you're right. Yeah, Jeep Commander's horrible too. Jeep Patriot, Dave Freeman says it's a nice rig. I'm going to take your word on that. Bullwag says, I worked on a Hemi Commander yesterday. They're really nice cars, super off-road capable. I had a friend whose wife had a Commander. It had a 4.7. It was a not good thing. It smoked really bad everywhere. He asked me about fixing it. I said, no. But anyway. Rude Mood Dude Hamburg. What style of music do you play? I started off in classics rock, blues rock styled stuff. I did a bunch of classic rock style, classic rock covered tunes and stuff in a bar setting for a while. Then 2010, I started a stoner metal, stoner rock band with my friend Drew Funk. That band was called Whitewood Funk. There's our poster. There's the guitar that made the Whitewood Funk sound. There's the amp that made the Whitewood Funk sound. Yeah, stoner rock. And that went on for a while. My daughter was born in 2016, and that marked the end of my trying to play music all the time and gig every weekend days. And the bassist moved, and we didn't really play much anymore. So I've done solo things, still of a, rockish persuasion. I'll write lots of sad songs. And then recently, the last year and a half, I've been playing with a kind of interesting prog rock, mostly prog rock, partially also, it's got metal-y aspects, it's got all kinds of things. But anyway, Morning Orange, it's my current band. I have played many styles of music over the years. I've been in a country cover band. I've been in various bar bands. I've been in punk bands, playing bass mostly. But yeah, most of my music is on the heavy rock side of the equation. Nice. Bet you could hear that. Yeah, but Russ Peter Stereoix, a bunch of people recommended carbide drill bits, and I may well be going there. A bunch of people also said masonry bits. Apparently that works. Yeah. Todd Denayo said, my 60 Dodge Phoenix had the full contact brakes. It was way cheaper to have the wheel cylinders bored out and brass sleeved and rebuild them than replace them with new. If you could find somebody to do that today. Oh, Hot Shoes in the house late? Yeah, you missed the chat about the Turbo 2.2 and the TC by Maserati. I didn't know they had a special twin cam head for the Maserati. That's pretty cool. Excuse me. Oh, anyway, someone asked, and I don't remember where the comment was, but if the total contact brakes were so good, why did they stop using them? Money. They went to Bendix. It was cheaper. And then disc brakes became a thing. Matter of fact, disc brakes actually did exist when total contact brakes were still in use. Very strange disc brakes. They were optional on Imperials and stuff starting in, I think, 53. But they were really weird disc brakes. Conventional disc brakes as we know them came a bit later than that. Robin Davis was reminded of the occupational hazards in mechanicking in today's Neon video. Yeah, I only inhaled horrible corrosion dust twice, so yes. Hard Rock, Vermont. Do you know Graveyard Cars? Well, I know of them. We're not buddies or anything. Yes, they're in Central Oregon. Ish. Gopher Garage. Any IFS Jeep is not a Jeep. Yeah. Yeah. Our modern Grand Cherokee is pretty Jeepy. It does some Jeep things. And it looks like a Jeep. But I understand your point, and I don't disagree, really. Bullweg thinks the Hemi ones are probably a bit better than the 4.7s. Sure. For a while. Yeah. Kevin, who is a member. Thank you. I believe the forward look Imperials went to Engel design in 64. Yes. So Engel began restyling things when he took over. So the 63 A bodies are mostly pure Exner, but Engel kind of retouched them. For example, Exner's Valiants had a full round cut rear wheel opening. Engel drew a straight line on that. And he tweaked some other things a little bit, but largely they were still Exner designs. And then he started freshening them year after year. But his first design is the 64 Imperial. In 65, he did the C bodies. In 66, he did the B bodies. And in 67, he did the A bodies. So it's interesting. It went in that order year over year. 64 Imperial, 65 C body, 66 B body, 67 A. And so you can see these newer, straighter, Chrysler designs coming out alongside existing older Exner cars. And it's kind of interesting. Eric Dusenberry headed out. Thanks for being here. Richard Scott also headed out a little bit ago. I see 255 on the board. I don't see many of the usuals from Tony's just yet. So I imagine he's still going, but we'll probably see him pretty soon. No tape videos. No. We played Morning Orange played a show in Olympia last weekend. And the whole set was recorded. It has not been posted yet. But it should be at some point. And I will share it when I see it. Greasebelly Garage is a huge Counting Crows fan. Wow. I can play one Counting Crows song, and that's it. Johnny Grassa. Country? Yeah, outlaw country. McLovin put up a link to the Discord. Patrick Sullivan said, Clapton. Yeah, I've heard of him. Todd Denio says, disc brakes were on the Tucker in 1948. Tucker had all the cool stuff. Ooh. Whatchoo was working on a Mopar small block race engine with the cool poly heads. W8? Is that it? I think it's W8. It's the NASCAR thing. Right? No, it's not W8. Is it W9? What is it? Which one is it? What is it called? I don't remember. The W8, I remember now. The W8's still that's like the bestest conventional wedge. NASCAR, Mopar, small block, head. What are you called? Oh, R5P7, whatever. R5P7. That's the really cool one. Yep, R5 block, P7 heads. There it is. Oh, yeah. Tim Jefferson. Mason bit is a carbide. That's why that works. I kind of thought. Neat. Bell James is headed to the roof. See you later. Hat Trick is here from New Zealand. Welcome. Yeah, Mark Howey. The correct answer for Jamie's musical style is eclectic. True. Rocket Tom dropped in right on time as usual. His ears must have been burning. Yeah, Classic Dude Mike. There are tons of the Perkins engines I need in England for sure. Scott DeForge is here, slightly late. Enjoyed the sweet neon RT video today. Rad! Outlaw Country. Tony Dean Wixon says, my 2 bucket cars. 1966 Dodge Charger. Big block. Number 2, 1969 AMC Javelin. Big Bad Orange. Go Pack Donahue. Nice. 390 4-speed. Had the Javelin. Should have kept it, the car. Got rid of second wife. Ouch. Rad. 66 Chargers are pretty cool. I had one for 9 years. Not quite 10. Blah Blah is in the house and says, hi from Austin. How's it going? Yeah, Todd said, Scott from Cold War Motors posted Matt from Strong's Garage was in a bad accident. Asks everyone to keep him in your prayers. I'm not familiar with him, but yeah. That's unfortunate. I hate reading bad news. Jeff Militich. I know some guys in this area have a prog/medley band called Those Medley Kids. That's sick. Nice. Yeah. That's a lot of the Morning Orange songs are. We had a part, and then we stuck another part on it, and then we stuck another part on it. Prog, but yeah, medley. Same idea. Yes, Dave Freeman, IFS is independent front suspension. Ron Armstrong says, I'm sure it's evident where I came from. Hello, everyone. Hello. It's not evident. Oh, there's more Tony people. Scoop is here. How's it going, Scoop? Hi, Scoopy. Barth Syverson is also here from Uncle Tony's. Thanks, everybody, for hopping over. Appreciate that. Oh, Tony's done. Gotcha. No, indeed. ONZ76, ONZ76. Would you use a carb cheater? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I get lots of comments about it. Like, it's cool, I guess. I just don't know why I need it, is all. Ron Armstrong feels slighted. What happened? Yes, Engel and his slab-sided designs. I prefer Exner. Grew up in a family with many forward-look cars. I like both. I love the 66.7 Cornet. And that's all Engel all the time. Yes, Tony has caused quite the stir with the Nitro Party. I'm excited. I'm paying attention. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Jeffrey Voth is considering changing my drinking game to Perky Head suggestions. That's awesome. I love it. I just love it. Dynamite. Mark M. No, the Mopar banner has not shown up yet. Robert Harley Young. Hey, so I don't know if you've covered this or not, but what's your favorite engine to build? LA series and older question mark? I've been wanting to ask this, but haven't made your chat before. LAs are for sure my favorite. They're like my happy place. They're what I understand the best or what I've done the most of. Although actually, I might have done more big blocks at this point thanks to Tom. But the small blocks are my passion. That's where I like to be. So yeah, LA engines and Magnums are similar, but they have little annoyances, and LA for sure. 273s, 318s, 360s, 340s are cool too, but they're money. People always trash talk 360s. Those people don't know things. But yeah, LA's in general. Oh boy, Bill Mize is out. He's got 2 air units to put on a firehouse tomorrow. Best of luck, Bill, and thanks for being here, and thanks again for your most generous super chat. Johnny Grassa says, Hank Williams 3 is pretty funny. Well, my name is Cecil Brown, and I'm from a little town. People don't think much of me. Well, I never understood why they thought I was no good. But this is how it seems. The feelings of this worn-out cowboy would make you feel so cold. I traveled up and down so many lonesome roads. I've never played this song before. Well, I once took the high road and it took me straight to hell. Well, I stayed there all by myself. I don't know the next line. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm a Hank 3 fan. Eric Dusenberry, I believe, has left, but he asked, did those neons come with neon keys originally? I believe they did, and I didn't know that until I saw a period review video earlier today that someone linked. Vic dropped in to say hello and send some positive vibes. Thanks for dropping in, Vic. We'll send some back your way. No progress on the house, still a struggle, but we're tough. Love you, bud. Do you like when the camera shakes? It's a cool special effect. 20 people left when I started singing. I see how it is. Richard Lane says, I've had an MSD on my slant since 06. Never had any issues. Nice. Good Lord. What's wrong with this boy? What kind of music do you usually have here? Oh, we have both kinds. Country and Western. That's what I'll say next time. Josh Homan's in the house. How's it going? Something about little tiny nitro cars. Hot Shoe says the final cure for Perky's head is C4, also known as Sirius Putty, I believe. Yes, the 66 Charger has a fantastic interior. Play Mars Volta. What I got. I am a man. He has no one to help him now. Yeah, 360's external balance has always bothered me. Not a big deal, just rather not have to deal with it. Yeah, it's not a big deal though. Like you said. Doesn't bug me. Rawhide. Theme from the television show Rawhide. Thank you. Ride 'em in Rawhide. Jazzmaster. Maybe you missed this last week. I ordered this. I ordered this brand new from the local guitar store that's no longer there in 2012. And then I put the pick guard from my J Mascis on it and the white one from this on my J Mascis. Don't ask me why I did that. I quickly realized I didn't actually like this one, and I sold it to my friend for less than I paid for it, and it was almost brand new. He had it for like a really long time, like 10, 11 years. Traded it into the guitar store last year. They sold it immediately, and then they got it back. And I saw it hanging there and said, ah, crap, I got to buy it. And they gave me a deal. So I have a Jazzmaster again, but I really don't like these pickups. I got to get something gnarlier. Radio Wild, have you ever considered taking an obscure car and putting some Mopar power in it? Yes, but why? I have considered all kinds of things. Well, I was drunk the day my mom got out of prison, and I went to pick her up in the rain. But before I could get to the station in my pickup truck, no more dogs in the neighborhood. Ugh, gross. Chumbawamba. Wow. Keith Hill said, paid $50 for an NOS gold-plated Golden Lion key blank for my 61 New Yorker wagon. Worth it. Oh yeah, Steven's got offset Jag bases. Yeah, they're the yeah, I remember. I thought about a Jag base once. I do think those are cool. JRod, I might have missed it. Any update on plans for duct tape drags this year? Tickets are sold out. I didn't buy one. Car's not ready. Decided, screw it. We have a family thing double booked, and I wanted to do it this year, but ain't happening. Neil Zimmerman, I'm confused by these Mopar videos I'm seeing on YouTube of guys opening a flatback distributor. What the hell is a flatback distributor? And wiring in some Amazon regulator. I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah. Stop that. If people didn't run from that. Rawhide. Yeah, Hank 3 is nuts. Hell of a performer. He goes all night. Oh, wow. Rocky says, I found the camshafts and stroker crank for the Neon and a 55mm throttle body. Still looking for springs and retainers. I'll be damned. That's cool. Oh, boy, I'm sleepy. Probably because some kids and a dog woke me up at friggin' 4:30 this morning. T1 Menace says too much singing. Yeah, you're right. Rocky says, should throw a small block into the Rampage and convert it to rear-wheel drive. I don't want that. First off, it's way too much work. It's not worth the trouble. I already have rear-wheel drive V8 powered things, like a shit ton of them. Same reason I didn't want a V8 swap the 81 Challenger. It's just, it's cool, but why? I have a Demon. I have a Dart. I have a Duster now for some reason. I have a Charger. I have a Barracuda. I have another Barracuda. I don't need to do all that work just to jam that in there where it doesn't belong. Yes, yeah, what's a P94? Is it more Hodders? Oh, P94 pickup, humbucker. Oh, humbucker size P99. Never mind. I don't know how to read. It's basically a P90 single coil redesigned to fit a Gibson humbucker size. Okay, yeah, no, well, it's P90s. I see. I was not aware of that. That's interesting. P90s. Chili Willie says, VW Bug with a 2.4 turbo running gear in the back would be rowdy. I'm sure you're right. When I owned a Beetle, everyone, and I mean everyone, had a different idea for an engine swap for it, and it just drove me crazy. Hey, Short A says, oh yeah, that Dodge Aspen RT in Yakima is coming to Australia. Wow, that's cool. Taco Time. So why did you get turned off the Challenger? I'm bored. I'm just so bored. I'm at a point where I don't care about a lot of stuff. The Scamp, the Dart GT, which I've already sold. I'm just bored. Yeah, it's a fun car. But here's the thing. I have a different classic daily driver for every day of the week, which is great. Except I got a mounted RAM with heated and cooled seats and AC and Bluetooth. And so I just drive that. And I don't need any of these other cars. They're just sitting here rotting in my yard. I have no inspiration, motivation to do anything with them. All of my motivation right now is behind drag race projects. And so that's what I want to do. Dave, I'm going to give you a pass because you weren't here when I said, don't give me any more Perky suggestions. But to answer your question, the hooks, the lift point hooks that are on the head are what I'm trying to lift the head by. So, yes, but it came that way. Anyway, Mad Mike 8 is waiting for the return of the garbage can videos. Nice! I got the demon out from under it. I brought the lift down, left it down. I installed the taillights the other day. Alan is polishing the steering wheel because it looks like garbage. I'm going to put the back bumper on. I'm going to do as much as I can. Oh, yeah, Roger, shutting the hell up. I said I was giving you a pass. And Dave also said you have to try. He sent me a message. He said you have to try the inclined tart cherry cider. Don't mind if I do. Anyway, the garbage can. Currently working on it. There's only so much I could do. I'm still not done with the stupid heads. I need to do something with those. But anyway, and I need a clutch. Or I'll use the one I have. That's perfectly fine, I guess. And I need slicks. Probably new front runners. Those ones are really old and terrible. And whatever else I'm forgetting. Oh, I still need to swap the rear chunk, 48s. Plymouth on Plywood is out for the night. Later, Gator. Have a good one. Thanks for being here. Yeah, there's other little stuff I need for the Barracuda, I'm sure, but most everything else is here. Robert Fitch is happy to see I finally got the Imperial home. Me too. It looks so much better in my driveway than it did rotting in Tom's yard. I'm pretty excited about it. Chris asked, Jamie, are you still getting a Beetle from a friend? I think you were going to trade a car for it. I'm supposed to be trading the Z car for it. I need to try and make it be less rich and horrible. And my friend Frank that has the Beetle and is trading me is supposed to be working on the interior. And he's made like no progress since he took it home. So it's really both of our fault. No, we do not have smog here, thankfully. Traj, Minnesota says, bored, go... I assume that's what that stands for. Says, bored, go racing. Bonus points for the turning kind. So we have the Ridge Motorsports Park near to here in Shelton, Washington, and I would love to take the Neon RT there, among other things. The problem is, to go to a track day, you need to join one of the clubs that's running it, and that costs money, and I don't know... I just don't know anything. But I would very much like to do that. Hard Rock, Vermont. Drag racing footage coming? I don't know if any of that's happening this year or not at this point. I really would need to get on the Barracuda and spend like all the time on it. Johnny Grossa, are you going to radius the rear wheel wells on the 66 Barracuda? Yes, I am. I'm going to fit the 28-inch slick without lifting it. I want the radius look. The rear wells look stupid anyway. They're rusted on that car anyway, so I see no reason not to do it, except that we already painted the car. See you later, Dan. Thanks for being here. There, yeah, Todd. Suggestion on Perky. Don't give up. I haven't yet. Yeah, Snowing VX. I enjoy how DDG is kind of naturally like Freiberger's saying, don't get it right, just get it running. In a video on the Toolbox Charger very early on in the channel, I said I'm heavily inspired by that and a lot of things that Uncle Tony has said over the years. I remain a devout follower of his. Just that general ethos. Like, yeah, it doesn't need to be perfect and it doesn't need to be all shiny and new to be good, you know? So I do kind of exist in that same universe. Kind of. C4, the best head job Perky ever had. Yep. Yep. Is this the Dead Dodge Junkyard site? This is it. You found it. Take it easy, Bullwag. Thanks for being here. Appreciate that. Nice. If you want to see a classic Mopar from the DDG fleet going around corners, McLovin says Llama Barn Valiant is signed up for autocross on August 23rd. Expensive sticky tires have been installed. Yes, I saw pictures. It is running better than it has since I've owned it. Oh yeah, buddy. Dennis Wheeler is in the house. How's it going? Right on time as usual. Dave Freeman says, what's the story on the red Toyota 4Runner that keeps showing up in the background of your videos? Is that a future project? No. No 3-point blows. Absolutely not. No. No. It's fixed. It's leaving. I've already been paid for it. It should be picked up like tomorrow or something. Yeah, it's something I could have finished in a day, but instead I took a month. That's me. Yeah. Snowmonk VX says, my 67 Charger is the opposite of shiny and new. I mean, new mechanical bits, but the exterior, 19 different colors. Nice. Oh. Martin Adams said the tow truck guy in Seaside is into TCs. And if you've been through Seaside... Wait. Hold on. I'm thinking of the tow truck guy in Long Beach. Never mind. Wrong Oregon town. Oh, Steven says the neon colored key for the neon is actually the emergency key, just a spare. The regular keys are black. I'll be damned. Okay, yeah, so you've got the optional part-time 4x4. That would be why you've got the big bolt pattern. Oh, man. That's funny. Another friend just messaged me about the neon. I forgot he is looking for a stick car, but anyway, we got plans. Brady dog. If you're trolling me, well played. And if you're not, read the video title. Ironclad Ranch and Forge just got in here. If you haven't talked about this, it may be better to pull the engine out of Perky to work on the head. I talked about it in the video, and I know you just got here, so you're getting a pass too. But several minutes ago, I said, no more Perky suggestions. I don't want to hear it. Leave me alone. Thank you. Yeah. Todd Donaio says, years ago I did a 344 spin to the... No, we're not sending him to the corn. We're not sending him to the corn. Todd Donaio said, years ago I did a 344 speed rear-wheel drive conversion on an 84 Charger. Front-wheel drive, of course, yeah. It was a crap ton of work, but was fun and scary fast. Sold it before it killed me. Nice. Dale's Demon with the Smog 360 of 4-speed and 48 gears is scary fast and could kill me pretty easily. I don't need any faster than that. No, you're good. You're good. What if it's really funny to keep giving you Perky suggestions? I will start saying bad words before long. If that's what you want, you know what to do. McLovin dropped another link to my merch store. Help me put a head gasket on Perky. Yeah, help me buy head studs. My Perky suggestion, keep the body paint. It's awesome. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's not very nice, but it is beautiful. Yeah. Jeff Hutchins' grandpa bought a brand new 3-liter Toyota truck. It was great. I'm sure it was for a while. So when my wife moved, when she moved in into 2014, she didn't have a car. She lived in Los Angeles. You don't need a car in Los Angeles. And I loaned her various things. The satellite that, Yeah, the no more Perky head suggestions. Is it too late to change the name? I don't know, but we can pin that. She drove the 72 satellite that Jordan ended up with for a time. She drove my 75 Power Wagon. She drove my Charger a couple times on her 20-mile commute. What she said she wanted was a 4Runner, a 90s 4Runner, and so I got one. Except the engine was out because that engine had been used as a donor for a Toyota pickup that had a blown head gasket. The 4Runner also had a blown head gasket, but it was less blown. The Toyota truck engine that came with it had water sit in chambers forever, in cylinders forever. And so it had really bad rust pits. And I got all the rebuild parts straight from Japan. And I was going to try and hone it or something. And then I went, I'm not doing this. And I gave up on the project. And I gave all the parts to my friend Chris, who still had the 4Runner at his house that entire time. And I just went, I'm sure he gave me something. But yeah. Yeah, no more talk about swapping the engine in Perky. It needs to stay a diesel, and not only that, it needs to stay a gutless P4C. Rainstorm said, send Perky to the corn. People keep saying Cummins, and those people, they just don't understand. And I understand that they don't understand, but yeah. PQ Speed Shop, poor Perky getting no love. I don't know what you mean. My hands are literally stained. Like, they don't get clean anymore because of that stupid car. I've given it all the love I can. Nice. Making Things Happen said, just remember, Making Things Happen loves your humorous content. We've been watching for years. Thanks and good night. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Johnny Grasso, LA to Western Washington. That's a culture shock. She moved from here to LA. We were dating at the time. She lived there for 6.5 years and then moved back. Nobody walks in LA. Apparently that's a thing. No, you walk to the subway or whatever, or a bus. She lived in Hollywood, worked in, oh God, I don't remember, but it was like an hour and a half subway bus commute every day each way. Meep meep. Wow. Mark Howley says, I've lamented not being a Mopar guy the whole time I've been a fan. Then a few weeks ago, I remembered I had a $700 83 New Yorker. How did that slip my mind? Nice. Good evening, Andrea Alvarez. How's it going? Russ Peter Sterling says all Toyota pickups and 4Runners will eventually turn into a huge pile of flavor crystals. Yes, the classic ones are all, they all have beds resting off here. The 90s trucks, they hold on pretty good. As long as they don't have a 3-liter, they're going to go for a long time. Taco time. Alice swap the Perky. Out. Get out. Yes, Jeff, I was awake at 4:30 a.m. and I didn't enjoy it. Yeah, Dada LeBreton's in the house. Less blown head gasket, more gooderer. Stephen Brown, 340 Duster keeps stalling. I have no clue how to turn the carb. Any suggestions? It's sitting at 800 RPM, but always stalls when shifting into gear and coming to a stop. Okay, couple suggestions. First off, what kind of carb is this? You may have high float levels. That can cause the stalling you're talking about. But in my experience, most problems like that, most carb problems are actually timing problems. If this has an aftermarket cam, you need to recurve your distributor probably. And at the very least, verify that your timing is set correctly. That is probably the actual problem. Gary Hergert is here and says, when driving home from the show, I saw a 300J on the side of the freeway with a blown out right front. Stopped and gave him my spare out of the 300L because his spare was the original Blue Streak. Wow. 300J was at the show. 40,000 original miles sold new in West Seattle. That's super cool. Gopher Garage, welcome to Diesel Fun. I'm not new to it. Alan says, Tiffany's a 300 boat captain now. She loves it. Tiffany doesn't seem so convinced that she loves it. That's funny. Ironclad Ranch. What is the recommendation for how long tires last before they dry rot? Internet says anywhere from 6 to 10 years. 10 has always been my understanding. I'll run them 10. Hard Rock Vermont says I posted a new live set on my channel with my new Gibson Les Paul Standard. Sick tones, Jamie. Nice. I want to get a Gibson Paul someday. I think I love my Korean Epiphone is great. Honestly, this Chinese one, now that I've got it set up, is pretty good too. It's got a great 80s Ibanez bridge pickup. It's the secret sauce. It's got the tones. But, dang it, I can't type. Can't type. It's black. Nice. Ooh, 51p in the back. I've never played one of those, but I sure like how they look. Dang it, Bobby. Dang it. God dang it, Bobby. Propane. Nope, it's not there. Dale? Dale? I swear I can usually do a Hank. I can't do a Hank today. I think you're thinking of Fiat. Dang it, Bobby said, Perky's perfect just the way it is. I mean, some fixed version of the way it is. Gutless NA diesel. Exactly. Matt's Custom Creations in the house. How's it going? Pesky. Yeah. We're changing the name. Tubatorium. I like it. Hot Shoe says, man, that neon looks really clean. You need to add some rust and dents or it won't fit in with the fleet. There is a dent on the driver's side quarter panel. It's from his wife's Durango door. Smacking it like 1,000 times. They parked next to each other. And I swear I had a clip showing it and explaining what it is, but I couldn't find it. And I didn't exactly have time to go refilm that. So anyway. Pet Cemetery for Perky. Is there a Subway in LA? Well, I've been on one. Yeah, Jeff, you're right. I did not read the rest of your comment. I skimmed it and I thought it said the opposite. It had half the power, 2/3 the fuel mileage, and was less reliable than my XJ. Yeah, I read it wrong. That's funny. Yeah, Todd Denial. Exactly. Perky is a cool and rare treasure. Needs to be preserved as original. Might be the last of her kind still in existence. In America, in a 59 Plymouth, I think it is. But it may not. There could be more out there. But not many. Certainly not many. And that's the exactly thing. That's exactly it, or that's the whole thing. Pick whichever one of those you like better. Nobody Walks in LA is a song by Missing Persons. Got it. Is there a Subway in LA? Well, I've been on one, so I believe so. Johnny Grassa, did you read a lot of Mopar Action magazines? I did get them for a while. I still have a stack around here somewhere. Jeff Hutchins, even I didn't recommend to come and swap into Perky. That should tell you it's a bad idea. Word. Exactly. Exactly. Hang on. Hold on. Wait a second. I don't know if I'll be able to find this. I'm so bad at things. Lots of things. Where? Dang it. Where are my notes? Yeah. So I've never mentioned this, but Jeff Hutchins sent me some swag and a Red Ryder. And I've actually had it right here the whole time. The whole time I've been in this studio. Anyway. Rangemaster Gunworks. Whoops. There you go. Corvallis, Oregon. Pretty neat. Rainbow highlighter thing. That is cute. I like it. And a pretty nice pen. Yeah. Stolen? I don't know if you'll be able to read it. Stolen from Rangemaster Gunworks because Jeff was too cheap to give me one. It's good stuff. Anyway, the Red Ryder. So the plan was always to put that on the gun rack in. Dude. Oops. Oh, wait, what are you locked or something? What's going on here? There we go. Nice. The plan was always to put that on the gun rack in the ramp truck, but I put the bucket seats in there and it won't fit, or my head won't fit. And so I'm going to put it in the 79 Power Wagon, which is absolutely perfect. Thanks, Jeff. And whoever gave me the rack, which was so long ago, it's not even in my list. And I don't know if I've ever mentioned by name, it's Mark that gave me the Rapid Transit banner. Thank you, Mark. Matt's Custom Creations. I got my folks 94 Concorde and it was a fantastic car until a transmission failure. Would you consider getting or working on a Concorde Intrepid Eagle platform? I put an engine in one when I was young and stupid and I didn't know anything. I was not a good mechanic then. I hated it, obviously. They're interesting because of the transmission configuration, and I had ideas at one time about building a mid-engine Barracuda using that setup, but I would really rather not. I had a Stratus, and my ex-girlfriend had one as well. We had matching Stratuses for a time. I had to do timing belts and water pumps on both of them. I do not want another Stratus. Nope. That's not the kind of nostalgia I'm looking for. So, please no. Inept Mechanic. Jamie, are you willing to sell anything out of your 833 stash? I may need linkages and a shifter, among other things. I probably don't have what you need. And if I do have it, I probably don't want to get rid of it. At least you would be warm. I mean, saying warm. Yeah. Ask anyone that lives in LA how they're doing. They'll tell you they're fine. Is Tom not gonzo about Perky? He was pretty excited about it as well. We were both tracking his whereabouts for a time. I jokingly offered it to him, partially jokingly, as a trade for something once, and he wasn't excited for some reason. Anyway, yes, there's a subway there. I've been on it. A train network with some underground stations. There you go. They used to have streetcars. Aberdeen used to have streetcars. Stephen Brown. This was the 340. ABS 2 carb. 650 CFM. Car ran great before the intake was changed. Vacuum leak? Seems kind of obvious, but if it ran great before then, what changed then? Those are the only things. Something happened then. Apparently Dr. Art's in the house. I didn't see his comment. Where? Huh. Oh, dude. Probably because this stupid thing's on top chat again. I don't know why. No, I still don't see his comment. That's weird. Bobby Adams says, love your little neon. Had a 98 base model thing that was an absolute cockroach. It just would not die. That's awesome. Matt Cox says, I've got a 65 Plymouth Belvedere, 69 Valiant, and a 79 Dodge D100. Watching your channel is some of the only resources I have keeping these vehicles on the road. Love your channel. Thank you very much. Happy to do it. Happy to help where I can. McLovin did put up one more link to the DDG Discord. If you have not joined the Discord, you could do that if you wanted. Yes. Tom loves Perky, really wants to drive it. The only time I took it to Rocket, he was super sick, didn't want to. Yeah, I didn't want to breathe his air. We really wanted to do, so the Perky video where I drove it to Rocket, it was always planned that we were going to do a stopwatch 0 to 60, but yeah, Tom was sick. So that wouldn't happen. Todd and I said it would be cool to find out if there are any of Perky's sisters left out there. There are a very small number of those P4C swapped Plymouth and Dodge cars. Very small. Yes, I'm concerned a Sawzall would do bad stuff. Will Perky get a period correct meter? I don't know if I can find one. We're not doing that. We're not doing that, Todd. If it ran great, why did you change the intake? Yep. Yes, there are a couple other diesel Plymouths out there, but Perky is by far in the best shape. Mike McCann, this is Tom. Mike McCann was sold 2 a couple years ago. Really thought about buying one. They were super rough. Yep. The spare engine that I had came out of a Dodge in a junkyard. The previous owner of Perky tried to take the entire car, but it split in half trying to drag it onto a trailer. So they just took the engine and possibly some other parts. Stopwatch or sundial? Yes. Downhill, I got that bad boy up to 67 miles an hour. I don't play any Beatles songs. Exactly. Hard Rock Vermont got it. That is why I hid Todd's comment. Nothing against you, Todd, but I do have a very, very strict no politics rule. I always have. I always will. Something by Ozzy. I tried to do that before. P4 is 780 pounds. I thought it was less. I'm pretty sure it's less than that. I saw like 600. I could be wrong. Excuse me. Yeah, and a Cummins weighs about 1,200 as well. Does Perky even do 60? Yeah, it did in the driving video. Ugh. I got the burp ups. You need a long road for 0 to 60. Yeah. 0 to 60 in 3 to 5 business days. Yeah, Tavo, I saw your comment earlier. I have a 2000 Gen 2 Neon. Only got the single cam 2-liter here in Oz and only 4 doors. I think there might be 5 or 6 left on the road here. It's funny, your comment was basically they were not popular. And most of the comments here were positive. I mean, they were known to be good cars. So, good night, Rick Rice. We're definitely going to get Alfie here in a minute. I could eat, as the kids are saying. Last 5 minutes are for outro suggestions. Yeah. Please suggest songs, and then I won't play any of them. Harmore Horn. Did we ever establish this pronunciation? I don't know. Anyway, love the neon content. I see comments from you all the time. Love the neon content. Did Dylan get his Dart Sport? Yes, he did. He got it the day the video came out. 6 p.m., I believe. Oh, that was Dave's 10-month member comment. Thank you, Dave. How about something by Ozzy? Well, it does 60 miles an hour, but not all at once. I don't know. That's okay, Todd. That's okay. You again, like all communities, all of civilization is made up of people with varying opinions and varying thoughts. And that is essential for our continued existence. So I don't want to begrudge anyone their opinions that I may disagree with. I don't want to alienate anyone who might think different things than I do about politics. The moment we start talking politics, we're in a pissing match, and it's not worth it. And my life experience has always showed me that no matter where you are, which side of the aisle you are, you probably agree, I would say 70 to 80% or more with the people on the other side. And the more I, interact with people with differing opinions, the more I find that to be true. So this is not the place for it. And it is what it is. Again, like I don't care what you believe, or who you vote for. That's up to you. But I just don't want to see anything that even approaches political. Yeah, Rooster's right on time as ever. You bet, Steven. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Scoop votes for snacks. Yeah, we know that. Yeah. Yeah, Rasputer's Derelict. I believe Steven already made the sundial joke. Robin Davis says outro with more Hank the Third. Yeah. Scoop does drop most of his snacks. Yeah, we're still in D. Low down once again. Well, I'm struggling now just to get by. Keeping me up real late at night. I just can't settle down my honky-tonk life. Drifting around about 4:30 with the blues on my back and a bottle on the floor. Drinking until I think I'm gonna fall down, 'cause my sweet little baby had to kick me low down once again. Well, I'm struggling now just to get by, my friend. Oh, that's wrong. Whatever. There you go. My mother was here. I don't know if I ever said hi to her, but she definitely was here. See you later, Scott, and everybody else hopping out. I appreciate you all hanging out and not talking politics. Hot time, summer in the city. All right. Oof. Yeah. Save your wrath for those that deserve it, like Chevy owners. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that. Yeah, we're definitely getting a copyright strike on that last one. Yeah. Cool. Thanks for being here. Much appreciated. What's on the agenda for this week? So, I don't know if there's enough video there, but we did get the 426 Hemi broken in this last week. Woo! 426 Hemi number 1. Went pretty good. Couple little issues. But I think we're going to see that on Wednesday unless there's not enough video there. We're taking apart Vivian's Dart. I don't yet know how that video is going to go, whether it's going to be an Engine Wednesday or whether it's going to be an actual feature. Maybe it'll be a feature taking it apart, doing all the diagnosis stuff, and then Engine Wednesday finishing the engine. I don't know. Haven't decided. I've got a charger video mostly filmed. I already did that. Scroll back to like 20 minutes in the video or less. 15? I don't know. Yes, Uncle Tony referred to me as a Mopar guru, which is ridiculous. He is my Mopar guru, but it's much appreciated. Do you know any sources for four-door window seals? If steel rubber doesn't have it, I don't know. No, stop it. Don't. Oh, didn't see this. Jamie, can I change my speedo cable without pulling dash cluster? Yes, it might be hard to release on the Rally Dash, but it can be done. Yes. You don't know about the Hurricane has been known to be coming to the new charger for a really long time. I missed a lot of comments tonight. I apologize if I did not see your question or anything. Anyway, yeah, so charger video coming. Imperial video coming. I don't know if that'll be this next weekend, but it's coming. Dart. Barracuda, we're kind of working on it, but I don't know when another video installment will be ready. We're going to do something interesting with the Dakota RT, which Alan's really excited about. But yeah, anyway, I don't know what else is coming this next week. We'll figure it out. It's going to be hot here tomorrow. Ooh, Tavo, I'm going to do a 453 Detroit in something. Briska, real fast. Do you prefer points to electronic ignition and why? I kind of like both. They have their place. I like the points in my 68, except, well, we'll talk about it in the video. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. This stuff will happen. A Dartuda. It's a Barracuda dart. Come on, we've established that, Will. All right, I'm sweaty. I'm leaving. I'm hungry. Thanks for being here. See you in the comments section. See you next Sunday. DDG out. Thanks, everybody. Bye. I have to find the button. It's over here. Oh, wait. John Hibbard. Rebuilding a 440. I've got 915s. Everyone praises the 906s. Keep the 915s. That's what you're good. Keep the 915s. If you're still here. Okay, bye. Gotta get snacks.